Every car enthusiast knows a road that just has that special something. A tight hairpin, a blind crest, an unbelievable view. A road that seems like it was made with spirited driving in mind.
There are roads like this all over the United States. But this got us thinking, would it be possible to drive all of them? Drive as many of the best drivers' roads as possible in one road trip and rank them to determine our favorite driving road in the US.
Our mission will lead us across the country, tracking down the roads that produce that certain tingle in our brain that scare the breath right out of us and leave us speechless with their grandeur. For the next 3 weeks and 8,000 miles, we invite you to come with us on one very spirited drive.
Survived the first leg of our trip to find the best driving roads in America. After tiptoeing through some snowstorms in Kansas and New Mexico, finally we'd found fair weather in Phoenix.
Already overcome a decent amount on this road trip. And the cars are showing it on the exterior. Gotta give them a good wash, especially because the series is sponsored by a paint protection film company. The cars can't be dirty the whole time. Was there ever any doubt that two Hondas could make it on a 2,500 mile road trip? Max, the cameraman, is nodding his head yes, but I think that the answer is no. Of course not. There was never any doubt. They are Honda's God's car, so.
Max, you can stay here, all right?
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that
Max,
negative energy.
If you don't like Hondas, maybe you should stay here and drive a Subaru.
If you're wondering why we partnered with a PPF company like Speck for a road trip, this is exactly why right here.
This is a very satisfying wash. Ready?
Road trips are hell for a car's paint. Ask us how we know. And after all the time and money I've put into the incredible forest green metallic paint job on the S2000, I was not about to let it get damaged by rock chips, wash mitts, or birds. The ceramic-infused top coat on the Dyno Shield PPF meant we could wipe the dirt and grime right off our cars without worrying about scratching the paint, and lo and behold, not a rock chip in sight.
Snow in Colorado had derailed the trajectory of our trip and prevented us from visiting Pikes Peak. But we didn't want our detour to be for nothing. Since we were already in Phoenix, we decided to check out a popular local road that we'd never heard of. It goes by the name of Apache Trail and leads you through a small tourist attraction known as Tortilla Flat. And as we knew nothing about the area, we used those terms pretty interchangeably. Okay, so we are here on, I believe it's called Apache Trail.
So this is Tortilla Flats.
This is definitely one of the lesser known roads than a lot of the other roads we've been on and will be going to.
Road I've never heard of until this trip. It's something that you could really only get in Arizona. It's like a canyon that you would get in California or something like that. A lot of switchbacks, a lot of cliffside driving, but with Roadrunner and Coyote style backdrops. It's incredible. You got mesas, you got these colored painted rocks, and of course you've got gigantic cactus.
There's so many cactuses. It's very fun, it's very different. The views are certainly getting better the further up we go. We're actually coming up on a lake now, which is a fun twist. Very grand. More scenic than the tail of the dragon. Absolutely.
This is so crazy. Absolutely beautiful. In a totally different way to something like the Blue Ridge Parkway. These folks pulled off on a pull-off to take some pictures, and I would be doing the same thing. Of course, I am behind a gentleman going 15 miles an hour, so how much am I getting out of the actual driving of it? Maybe not so much.
But it's kind of nice to take a step back from the more popular roads and run on something that's a lot more leisure, and that is definitely what this road is. The speed limit is 25 miles an hour, and there's just regular traffic everywhere. It is not really like an enthusiast-focused road, but, you know, there's motorcyclists and there's like families and stuff just going out and having a nice day. You know, this is a Sunday drive type road.
I don't know how bad the traffic normally is, but right now, it's really hampering the enjoyment, I would say.
This is a road where the car that you're in doesn't really change your experience on the road. I could see myself getting into a rental car and driving on this road and having the same amount of pleasure that I'm having driving this car on this road. You don't really need a performance car for this road. You're gonna get stuck behind somebody. You're not driving fast on this road. It's just a cruising road.
Oh, thank you, sir. He's taking the turnoff. Let's see. Oh, nice banked switchback. Oh, very nice. You come around these corners with a giant rock wall right here, and it just reveals this absolutely stunning landscape. But we've caught traffic again. This has gotta color my rating of the area because we're all going very slow. Going about 32 miles an hour right now, which is scientifically too low of a speed to have fun. That being said, if your idea of a good driving road is something that is completely the opposite of Tail of the Dragon, where nobody is intending to drive recklessly or above the speed limit, and there is zero pressure to go fast and you can just enjoy the road and the scenery, by golly, Tortilla Flat might be the place for you.
Despite the incredible scenery, it seemed that we might be driving the first dud of a road on our trip.
But once we got past Tortilla Flat and its population of 6 people, my opinion began to diverge pretty significantly from my coworkers.
I should have waited a little bit longer to give my impressions. Once you get past the little trading town that is Tortilla Flats proper and get out onto the roads beyond that, they're very good. And there's not much in the way of traffic.
I do rate it somewhat low because the corners are not banked, and Tail of the Dragon corners are banked like crazy. You kind of want the banking because it helps kind of carry the car through and the weight of the car instead of just kind of, you know, getting a lot of body roll over the corners.
Huge elevation change, tight switchbacks, uniquely Arizonan views. Is that the word, Arizonan?
It's also not like a super smooth road. There's a lot of like rocky turnoffs, a lot of gravel turnoffs, and some of that gravel gets brought up onto the road, so you never really know where, when you go around the next corner, if there's going to be like some rocks there. So you definitely cannot drive fast on this road.
The roads are so smooth and well maintained, so it's a pleasure to drive. There's no better car to be driving than a low horsepower roadster. At 10,000 RPM with ITVs. This is every little bit of sensory engagement that I wanted. 6-speed transmission, killer steering feel, double wishbone suspension. This is the car for Tortilla Flat.
This is so scenic, man. wouldn't say it's more scenic than the Blue Ridge Parkway, though.
A road that's this good to drive, that still feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere, and then it has views like this. It's unreal.
Yeah, a little bit of a change of pace.
It's like a recreational area, you know what I mean, that happens to be connected by a absolutely mind-bogglingly good road.
Yeah.
Like this is every bit, I think, as good to drive a road as the Dragon. And as far as it's got switchbacks, it's got low-speed corners.
Okay, well, so Ben, I think this might be the first time that we disagree about a road.
Okay.
I thought this road was pretty mid.
What?
Yeah, I like the view. Like, you know, it's nice. I've seen better views in like LA. I think the Blue Ridge Parkway has better views than this.
Oh, that's a bad take.
I also think the road, it doesn't have enough like cambering. It's all flat. There's gravel, so that gets onto the road, so it gets kind of like slick in areas, and there's tons of traffic.
Okay, the only thing I'll go with you on is the traffic. But I think that I found the perfect solution, which is this is a sunrise road.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, on the outskirts of Phoenix, you wake up, you know, you're at the retirement home, 5 a.m., you go out, you get in your convertible automatic Mustang. Nobody else is out here except everyone else from the retirement home. I'm being sarcastic. It's awesome. Like, I love this road. I can't, some of this stuff.
This is spectacular.
I've never seen views like this. They have lakes, they have like unbelievable desert.
It looks like
scenery.
every LA Canyon road I've ever been on.
No, it's distinctly Arizonan.
There's cactuses.
There's so many cactuses.
There's a lot of cactuses.
Like
cacti.
There's something subtly different about this versus Los Angeles like canyon roads, I think.
But the thing is, in LA, when you get behind somebody who's going slow, they get off immediately on shoulders.
We're here at like 2 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Everyone here is a retiree,
yeah.
You know, or you're here like with your family or something like that. We're the only people that are like actually trying to drive spiritedly. So, you know, there's no culture of getting out of the way.
No, it's not. It's not an enthusiast road. It's a family vacation road.
Yeah.
It's a retirement, just leisure drive road.
Which is what I think makes it so perfect. Because I've never heard of it, but it's so good. It's so good.
All right, well, we disagree. Ben, what's your number?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Whoa.
I think this road is every bit a 9. Huh. Tortilla Flat, you're on something. It's crazy.
That's higher than Tail of the Dragon?
It's better than Tail of the Dragon. It's better, like Tail of the Dragon sure is like, wow, incredible.
The banking is so much nicer.
There's tons of camber here.
It's pretty flat. And the gravel everywhere, there's so much gravel on pull-offs.
I don't know.
It's dry, it's brown.
Tail of the Dragon gets heavily glazed, okay? Nobody is ever out in the streets for Tortilla Flat, but it's awesome.
All right, well, Ben, I rated a 6. So I don't know what that makes the split.
That makes it a 7.5.
7.5, yeah. So sorry to degrade your road a little bit, but
we can't all agree on everything, but
or I'm sure there's a lot of other ones like this in this area.
Yeah.
Maybe they have more cambering and less gravel offshoots.
You're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's just like having like a car kind of like go like
that. It quickly became apparent that we were not going to agree on our assessments of Apache Trail, so I changed the subject.
I think, Ben, maybe I'm getting to enjoy more roads than you because my car is a lot slower.
Like, and smaller, I will say.
And
like,
it is smaller.
Yeah. I will say, I'm making a trade-off for like fun to drive on these kinds of roads for comfort 99% of the other time that I'm driving the car.
Yes,
yeah.
100%. I mean, you have a road trip car.
Yes.
I have like a spirited driving car.
Yeah, well, it's literally used to be a track car. It's,
yeah.
Yeah.
We've driven 2,500 miles so far. So tell me, what are you learning about the Type R?
I downsized on the wheels. They actually come with 19s from the factory. I went with 18s for a bit more of a plush ride, but I will say it's still really stiff. Like it's still got that like, I want to be a race car, but like...
It was never the wheel, right? I mean, it was partially, I guess, the 30 sidewall, but also it's the suspension.
The Fortunato's helped. The damping is way better and more controlled.
Yeah.
But it is still stiff. And I don't know, I could go with a softer spring rate, but then like, I still want it to handle and perform really well, and it does that.
So it's making how much power?
About like 340 or so, give or take. And almost 400 torque, like 390 something.
Yeah, because of tiny turbo.
Tiny turbo, yeah. I think it's still like a TD04. It's obviously like an updated version of all the small tiny turbos of times past. There it is.
Probably Mitsubishi.
I hope not. PWR, yeah, radiata and then Inacola. But then There's also a mid pipe or up pipe on the exhaust that's a little bit bigger than factory. Isn't that stock?
And then like tune.
And the tune, yeah. There's literally, this is a baffling on the intake, right? And then obviously the airbox has its own baffling.
They baffled the intake?
Yes.
What?
It's pretty common on factory cars.
Oh,
Well, you're also used to like Eclipses and Evos.
Evos, yeah.
Okay, this is one of my favorite things about the Type R. The cup holders are so deep.
It almost is as deep as an entire Deer Park water bottle.
Well, you can put your arm up and it's over the drinks. So like the drinks don't get in the way of your shifting and stuff. I forgot to. I just didn't put the clips back in the mold. It's not really a problem. It doesn't.
That was.
It's not. I needed to order these clips and I just haven't gotten around to it. You're using a microfiber.
No, this is
the worst you got on me.
I wasn't expecting it to do that. That's kind of something that like our two cars have in common. They're both Hondas, and they've both had a lot of body panels replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look at this door, Ben. Notice anything significant about this door?
It's green.
Yeah. This is also the only body panel on the entire car that is OEM that came with this car. Hardtop, rep, fiberglass. Quarter panels, we cut them off.
Yeah.
These are new from Honda. This trunk, different trunk. Duckbill, I don't know. Bumper, new from Honda. New from Honda.
Quarter panel, taillights.
These are from eBay, but they're OEM.
AP2 taillights.
Gas door's original. So,
okay, dude, same. Yeah.
This entire door, this is from a different S2000. The fenders are from some other car, and this is a Taiwanese rep lip.
You brush past this a lot about your car.
Yeah.
You got some wicked brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are like trophy kit, what, C43? These are not cheap brakes.
No.
These are like high end.
Jackie Ding installed these on the car when it was like supercharged K24, like a time attack car.
Yeah.
Probably making like 400 plus horsepower. And now they're just complete overkill.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
No, they're cool, except that I have never changed the brake pads from what Jackie had in it. So I have like metallic brake pads that are dusting up. I washed these wheels this morning. I don't think I've ever actually showed on this road trip the ITBs themselves.
All right, Ben, what do you think about the ITBs? Do you like them?
Well, so after driving on them for like 2,500 miles now, they are a huge sacrifice. So many things become inconvenient with working on the car when you have ITBs. However, they sound so stinking good that I think it's probably worth it.
Yeah?
95% of the time I'm cracking them on the highway, I'm just being bucked around like that and I'm miserable. But occasionally it's like, man, this car is perfect in city driving because every time I'm like pulling away from a stop, it's like, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned. Like when I started the build, I wanted it to rev to the moon because I was like, oh, scene points, right? YouTube. The ITBs I did for the same reason, and the ITBs I think are worth it. If I were to do it again, I'd probably do K24 with ITBs and just keep like an 8,500 RPM redline.
Yeah.
Because you don't need 10,000.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've revved it to 10 on this trip?
None?
0 times, at least intentionally. It's scary as hell to rev to 10,000 RPM.
I would be scared to do that too, yeah.
And so we departed the mid-road that is Apache Trail with its mediocre views and forgettable twists and turns, and began making our way further west. I'm Dr. Merchandise, and I'm diagnosing you with a mild case of not spending enough money yet this holiday season, and prescribing you 1 dose of a high-quality silkscreen printed Gears of Gasoline signature hoodie. Head to oildrip.shop to pick up your prescription.
I'm miserable. I'm in hell. My back hurts so bad.
Okay, well, we're technically in California, but we still have a long way to go, like 3 hours, to get to the good part of California, which might be a controversial statement, to LA.
The car is so loud.
The seats get so uncomfortable. And it's just the ITBs just cracking on and off and open and closed. This car is not designed for road trips.
We are almost there, so coast to coast, check. It had taken a week, but we'd made it to the West Coast. Already, Tortilla Flat had shown us a type of road completely alien to us East Coasters. And from here on, we could expect only more of the same. The first road we went to check out in California was maybe the most mainstream and famous driving road in the US.
Yeah, you better.
Of all the roads we've driven so far, I don't know if this is going to be anywhere close as far as how good it is to actually drive, but it is by far the most famous.
I want to find the corner that all the photographers stand at that get people crashing. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I just want to see that.
Yeah, that's why I know about Mulholland Drive.
Same, yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, right. But something wasn't quite right with Mulholland Drive. So far, it's not good. We've been hitting speed bumps, a lot of traffic, a lot of potholes. It's not the best road. I do think it's gonna open up a bit here, but so far all it's been has been a spectacle at the houses that are on the side of this mountain overlooking LA and wondering how much these houses cost. Not really anything about the road itself.
There's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of houses, there's a lot of speed bumps. But I'm sure that we're just not to the part that's good yet.
And it didn't get good either.
It's a very wide road. I can appreciate that. A lot of space. It's a bit faster than like Apache Trail or Tail of the Dragon because you just got more room. It's a little bit less twisty. Obviously, it's just part of a lot of people's daily commutes. Seeing a lot of just regular traffic. These folks are hiking.
There are literally tour buses that have the tops chopped off of them, and people are just piled in this tour bus to look around.
I don't know what the good part is. Usually you can just go to the road and then it's the road, but like so far it's just been speed bumps and G-Wagons.
It was around this point that our mistake dawned on us, and we realized something that our California viewers have probably been yelling at their screens for the last 2 minutes. We were on the wrong road entirely.
This is probably not the section of Mulholland Drive that we're even going to use, so driving impressions are probably not going to be that valuable here. We'll probably have to do them again, because this is clearly not it.
In our East Coast naivete, we had underestimated the legacy of William Mulholland, visionary behind the LA Aqueduct, and failed to account for how many things in Los Angeles were named after him. We were driving Mulholland Drive, home to celebrities and the namesake of David Lynch's 2001 mystery film. We were supposed to be on Mulholland Highway, a completely different 50-mile stretch of scenic road containing a piece of pavement known to enthusiasts as the Snake.
But there was one more twist in our ill-fated effort to drive on a piece of YouTube history. The Snake had been closed for years.
There's multiple reasons that they really kind of closed it. They had some water that came through and washed out the road.
Okay.
And they've had some fires up in here. You can still see some of the burn up in here. There's kind of a swale that goes through here, and it got plugged up, and then a bunch of the foliage was gone. So it really washed this whole section down. So I came up here probably about a year ago and looked at it, and it was just gone.
Yeah.
So you see this whole section, you see how they basically rebuilt this whole section of the canyon. But this whole piece where it wraps around was gone.
We met motorcyclist Mark at the rock store right at the base of the Snake, and he volunteered to drive up the road with us and fill us in on what had happened to this famous piece of tarmac.
What happened is they took so long to do it because they got a lot of the homes, a lot of people complained because of so many people and so much traffic, they would come through here. They used to race up through here a lot.
Yeah.
The bikes, the cars, the hopped up cars. And so they kind of slow rolled it. And because so many people were complaining, they said, oh, well now, we kind of got a reason just to kind of leave it. And then all through COVID and the whole thing, they had other priorities at that point. So Rich, over at his place at the rock store, used to be just like a little liquor store type place.
Yeah.
And then the bikers started hanging out there. Celebrity type people, Jay Leno, and then local people that just kind of go there and hang out.
Yeah.
That's kind of a spot along the way. It's always been a spot along this road, and then having this part of the road being closed is kind of a something that's kind of affected, you know, the whole aura of the rock store. He's been pushing to get this thing back open so people can come back through both ways.
I heard it's any day now.
Yeah, it was supposed to be months ago that it was supposed to be done, but you know, things move at a different pace sometimes.
Look at that. That's got to be recent. Like, that's, wow. The erosion out of a rock. Yeah, clearly this little creek was not a little creek at one point. It is kind of a shame. I guess we're just gonna have to come back at some point because it looks like a ton of fun.
So this old bike, this is a 75. This is a 1975 Honda CB that I got from a buddy of mine who owns a company called Valley Cycles. And that's all he does is restore and rebuild old Honda motorcycles. It's kind of a fun old bike. It's
I love it.
This next year will be 50 years old. So yeah,
50 years old. That's crazy. Hondas are reliable, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, they go for a long time.
Having experienced Mulholland Highway as much as we could, we said goodbye to our new friend Mark and descended back down the mountain to the rock store, where I ran into another local that directed me to a nearby canyon that he said was pretty outstanding.
This is the first tunnel that we've come across on this trip, and I'm going to be absolutely ignorant through it. Let's go. Yeah, this whole trip could be tunnels, and I would happily be deaf. Oh, we got another tunnel. You ready? You ready? Come on. I'm alive. Any conceivable setback that the ITBs create, screw it. I don't care. I want ITBs. Holy cow. Let's go. As far as I'm concerned, I own a Ferrari. This is as good as it gets.
But then, it got better.
All right, well, I think we can conclude this road trip series. I think we've found the road. This is it. It is Little Sycamore / Yerba Buena. Leave it up to the locals to show us where the best roads are, because wow, this is so good. It's got the views. It's got the banking and the curbs, the sweeping, flowing nature of the road. It's got no traffic at all. It has everything that makes a good road a good road. Absolutely spectacular.
It's kind of an archetypal LA Canyon road, right? It's in the middle of a mountain, very twisty. There's a ton of these.
There's nobody else on it. There's nobody. I haven't run into anybody. There's no traffic at all. The only other person on here is an S2000, a very loud S2000.
Look at this natural. Oh, this is perfect. Yet again, I have brought the ideal car for the road. Low horsepower, big sound. Tiny car, rear-wheel drive. What are you gonna do with an R35 up here? You're gonna be miserable. This is a low horsepower, good handling road.
I will say, okay, so one reason that it's not a 10 out of 10, it is pretty narrow. And this car, obviously being kind of big, sometimes it's like it literally fills the entire lane around some of these tight spots around these like rock faces. Cam, our camera operator over here, you're not even looking at the camera, you're just looking out the window.
I can't look at the camera. This is insane.
I think Ben just ripped it because I haven't seen him.
He's gone.
Sections of it are not ideal because there's so many rocks in the road. But this is, from a driving perspective, something else.
It seems like Ben just wants to go like rev it out all the time. This car is like, I'm cool just being chill, you know? It's great on the highway where you like need to change lanes or something. It's got all the power, but like on a back road like this, I don't really like feel the urge to go flat out.
I forgot we're supposed to be filming a video. Holy. This is so good. What a road. Wow, that's really good. This is a lot of fun. And the view. That's the Pacific Ocean right there, friends. Little Sycamore or Yerba Buena. I don't know what road we're on.
The world famous Yerba Buena.
It is muy bueno.
I mean, maybe that's part of the allure. Not a single other car in sight.
No cars. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's the only one of the trip where we've gone to a road, which just by itself, just driving this is like 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like unbelievably good to drive.
Yeah.
But also, nobody's out here, and I think it's because there are so many canyon roads.
Yeah.
It's like there's not like a high demand for Yerba Buena because I can also be on Angeles Crest, or I can be on Little Tonga, or I can be on Big Tonga, or you know, wherever. Second gear with a high ribbon K20, I'm in heaven.
Yeah, dude, you were gone, and it's funny because I have like a completely different driving style with this car. I'm just like the most leisure old man back here because I'm just gawking at the scenery. And it's on both sides. I'm like looking at the left window and I'm like, oh man, I go around a corner, and then it's on my right side. I'm like, whoa man. I want to give it a 10 out of 10. I really do. It's kind of narrow.
The ding I have against it is that the road surface in some areas sucks.
Yeah, a little gritty.
It's all cracked and beaten up and like uneven. And then the parts that are next to the cliff face, a little further down on the mountain, rocks and dust fall all over it. Yeah. So you could hit a legit softball-sized rock and your day's over.
But 9 out of 10, that is our highest rated road so far.
Yeah, we both agree. You know, there's no contention here. We're making this representative because we don't have time to go to every canyon road in LA, but this is representative of the kind of driving you'll get on any number of roads out here, which is why people rate, you know, South California so highly for driving.
Well, I don't know how to top this.
I think after like a tight technical road like that, we're gonna have to go for something totally on the other end of the spectrum. Something that's just cruising with a view of the ocean.
We departed Yerba Buena reluctantly, driving down the mountain as the last of the sunlight disappeared behind the Pacific Ocean. And though we couldn't visit nearly all of the canyon roads Southern California has to offer, we hope this small snapshot has been enough to convince you to grab the keys to your car and make the trek out, because these roads are astonishing. But what we drive the following morning would leave us speechless in an entirely different way.
Highway stretches basically the entire Pacific coast. It is really cool because it goes out on the coast, but then also it comes in a little bit and through some like mountainy sections and then back out onto the coast. It kind of mixes it up. It's wonderful. A 10 out of 10 for scenery.
One of the most scenic roads in the world. You know, you don't see views like this anywhere else in the country.
You could spend weeks driving this road all the way up the coast and stopping and seeing everything there is to see. It is amazing. drivability though, it's kind of a dull driving road, if you will. Like it's not, there's a couple sections that have some tight twisties, but it's not really meant for that. It's definitely meant for sightseeing.
The appeal is the vibes, the feeling that you get when you're able to drive through such an absolute wonder of nature.
As you're driving, you really have to hand it to the engineers that 100 years ago built this road, and all the folks that have kept it running for the past 100 years. The road doesn't want to be here, nature doesn't want the road here. All the salt water causes the road to crumble. On some of these cliff faces you have, there's slide areas, so you're having landslides all the time.
And that means that there's some road closures. And if there's a road closure on PCH, it's a big deal because there's no other side roads that connect you up. You have to backtrack, go all the way out to the highway, which is like an hour east, and then go up the highway and then cut back over. That's like a 4-hour detour.
Holy cow, dude.
This is a crazy road. This road always hits, man.
Yeah, I love the Pacific Coast Highway.
Not because of the road, though. It's because of the scenery.
Oh, okay. Speak on that.
Well, like the road is just kind of a slow cruising road. I definitely would not want to drive hard on this road. Just
It's definitely too straight to drive fast. Like you would be flying if you were wide open.
Yeah.
But I think it is very pleasurable to drive in a parkway sense.
Yeah. I give the scenery a 10 out of 10. Like,
100%.
no question.
Yep.
This is just amazing.
Yep.
I give the road a 6 out of 10, which means we'll go with 8.
So you're telling me that you're rating the Pacific Coast Highway an 8 out of 10?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's tough. I don't know if I can go with you on that one.
No?
It's so iconic.
It is.
Like this is the road I always think about. Like when I think about our road trips.
Sure.
It's a 9 for me easily.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, an 8 is still high, so that puts it at an 8.5.
Yeah.
I don't know how that falls in our hierarchy. I've lost track.
I think it's right below yerba buena.
I think yerba buena takes the cake over PCH.
Thus far, yeah. And see, that's what I think is kind of kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, the scenery isn't quite as good at yerba buena, but it's still
I'm
really
bumping
good.
it up to a 9.5.
Oh, just to
It's as
change the
close
ratio?
to perfect without being perfect as it can be.
Now that's an 8.75 on our total scale.
The only reason I'm not rating it a perfect 10 is because we can't go all the way.
Yeah, and that happens a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to keep going because we're going north.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the Pacific Northwest now, but the sooner we turn around and head south, the sooner we can wrap back around to the 101 and head north.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Highway cruiser, that's back to my realm.
By Pacific Coast Highway.
And so we said goodbye to California's asphalt gem and trekked back down the coast. We drove briefly east and then started heading north on Highway 101.
The remainder of our day was spent heading steadily towards San Francisco, with one quick detour. Hey Ben, so there's a Honda dealership up here about 45 minutes up the road. Is any chance you need to get anything at a Honda dealership?
The S2000 doesn't need anything. Like I've even stopped looking at my gauges because everything's so reliable. So I don't need anything.
I think I just want to buy another Honda. Is that? Are you cool with that?
You said you want to buy
A Honda?
The dealership up here. It's about 45 minutes up the road. If we can just swing by, I'd love to buy another vehicle from Honda.
Then you already have a Civic Type R. I don't know what Honda they could sell you that's going to be better than that.
Yeah, there's another vehicle they've got that I would say arguably has more hype than the Civic Type R, and I've been meaning to get one for a while. With my side quest completed, we've finished our drive to San Francisco, including an obligatory drive across the Golden Gate Bridge, and checked into our hotel for the night. But I could hardly sleep, because the following day, I was gonna get to drive my new Honda. Ben, check it out, man! Moto Compacto!
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah! It's kind of quick too. Huh? Yeah?
Yeah, blazing fast.
You want to ride it?
I'm okay. I would like to keep going though.
What, this way? You want to keep going this way?
Kind of meant up to Seattle.
15 miles an hour.
I've literally never seen a more scenic little town.
Sultan Basin Road. My goodness, is the scenery amazing. Yeah, I wrecked the drone. Yeah.
This car is like almost like exact same condition as I sold it to you.
How dare you? How dare you?